Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Music Lab podcast. My name is Dog, and I'm so happy to be back with you all for our 75th episode of season 2. Sound the trumpets, cue the fireworks. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We made it to 75 episodes. And in this episode, we are doing our top 5 albums of 2023. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, our social media pages, do all that fun stuff. That helps us, that helps the bands that we feature, as well as check out our sponsor, RAR Outfitters, RAWR Outfitters.com for all your clothing needs. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great year for music. Let's just start off by saying that. So many bands came out with great albums this year. We featured 13 album reviews throughout our 75 episodes, and we narrowed it down to 5. I will probably give you the two alternates, which I guess would be albums 6 and 7 that didn't make my top 5, but I don't think I'll give you more than that. Maybe, but we'll see at the end. So painstaking as all of these lists are to narrow down to 5. And like I do with all of my top 10 or top 5 lists of whatever we do end of the year or, during the year, I don't like to rank them. I just like to give you those 5. So how I'm going to do the top 5 and how I'm going to give you them in order is basically how they came out chronologically this year. So we'll start off with the first one. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do it. We're going to start off with a lady, ladies and gentlemen. Her name is Margo Price. And the album that she put out this year, Strays, on January 13th. She was one of our first episodes of this year. This album, I'm sorry, features 10 songs, clocking at 46 minutes. And the songs that just really, really blew me away: Light Me Up, Been to the Mountain, and Change of Heart. This is Miss Margo's 4th studio album and first since 2020's That's How Rumors Get Started. This album was recorded in Charleston, South Carolina, with her husband playing guitar in the band. And apparently there might have been some mushrooms involved in the recording of this album too, but that's a little bit of a rumor. Guests on the album include Lucius, Sharon Van Etten, and Mike Campbell. Mike Campbell from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you at least, I think, 3 tracks, including Light Me Up, where he is featured, sound a lot like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So if 3 of your 10 tracks sound like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, you already have a good start in my book on getting into the top 5 albums. But there's country music, there's ballads, and there's bluesy rock and roll. And those are kind of the themes throughout, as she has something to say and nothing to prove. The second artist or band that I'm featuring and the second album of 2023. This was a tough one for me, as in, like I said, all 5 of them, but this really was kind of like in that 5th, 6th, maybe as high as 4th, in my top 5, but could not leave it off my list. Dave Matthews Band. Their 10th studio album, came out on May 19th called Walk Around the Moon. The songs that really, really blew me away: Madman's Eyes, The Ocean and the Butterfly, and It Could Happen. Like I said, the band's 10th studio album and first since 2018's Come Tomorrow, with Buddy on keyboards, and also the first album without any contribution from violinist Boyd Tinsley. It is also their shortest album at just under 43 minutes. Dave sings about gun violence, the pandemic, and death and loss. Walk Around the Moon is a polished and a concerted effort to show off the musical talent by all 7 members in a collection of songs that, for me, are well done and a reawakening for me of my love for this band. 30 years together with lineup changes along the way and millions of adoring fans who still sell out their shows, including their 45-date summer tour this past year. But yeah, guys, I think it took me until the 9th song to be like, yeah. I mean, this is just a great, great collection of songs. Well done. And welcome back into my like kind of musical shuffle playlist, Dave Matthews Band. Our third album is called Pour It Out Into the Night. This came out June 2nd, and the band is called the Revivalists. The 3 songs that I'm featuring are that really, really, again, that I really liked: Down in the Dirt, Say Goodbye, and When I Got You. This is an 8-member band from New Orleans who made us wait 5 years since Take Good Care. The single, Kid, was released 4 months before the album release and really set the tone for what the rest of the tracks would be. You know, a band who gives back to their community through Rev causes and tackles human topics like climate change, gun violence, and human rights. We've heard that again. At 12 tracks and 44 minutes long, this album makes your head nod while you dance in your house, but gives you time to sit on a bench in a park and appreciate and sit back the wonder of this band. They toured with Band of Horses and The Head and the Heart this year, and we will see what 2024 has in store. The next band that we are going to feature, and the 4th album in our top 5 albums of 2023, is an album called Rothko Sky. It came out June 16th, and the band is called Arts Fishing Club. The songs that are featured on this album: Foster Falls, Hello Heartbreak, and Doug's Song. Amongst the 4 heavyweights of this group hails this indie band from Nashville, who we featured on our Bottom Line series for Bonnaroo, and whose album released, Rothko Sky, the day they played Bonnaroo. This collection of 10 songs and about 37 minutes long covers up heartbreak with positivity and good vibes throughout, and I could not stop listening. I was fortunate and honored to chat with lead singer Chris in episode 39 this season, and we saw them at the Milk Boy in Philadelphia. And it sounds like a spring tour announcement is coming soon, so we will definitely check that out. Our last album in our top 5 albums, ladies and gentlemen. We go from 2 June releases to we wait until November for our last album, and it's by a band called the Cold War Kids. It's their self-titled, and it came out, like I said, November 3rd. The 3 songs that I'm featuring, Double Life, Another Name, and For Your Love. And if you listen to our top 10 songs of 2023 episode, you will recognize that Margo Price, Light Me Up, and also Cold War Kids, Another Name, made it as well into that list. So with Cold War Kids, over 10 years since I was introduced to this band live at South by Southwest, and on their 10th studio album, and maybe one of their best to date, we find the fellas stepping out of their comfort zone often. On this record, and by using different producers, explore some sonic territory, but still hearing their signature sound. 12 songs and 37 minutes long, filled with thoughtful and introspective lyrics like these in closing song starring role. Nate sings, "Why do my heroes always compromise? I never want to lose the light behind my eyes. Are we so caught up in who's the goat? I want to grab 'em by the throat." Opening up for Tears for Fears this year had to be such an amazing experience and open them up, hopefully, to new fans across the globe. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our top 5 albums of 2023. You know, as they say, as you get older, time just flies by. If time did fly by this year, at least it was with great music to listen to. Margo Price, Dave Matthews Band, the Revivalists, Arts Fishing Club, and Cold War Kids, all in their own unique way, brought out the best in music this year, in my opinion. Those are your top 5 albums of 2023. Like I said, I'm going to give you my 6th and 7th album, um, just to kind of give you a little bit of perspective, as well as where my head was at in deciding maybe, I guess, what the 4th and 5th album was and what the 6th and 7th album was. So I would say the 2 other albums that I left out, Uncle Lucius's album was just absolutely fantastic, and it really pained me to keep it off the list, but I didn't feel like I didn't want recency bias to play a part in it. I think if that album would have came out in June or July, it might have made it to my list, but because it came out just a couple weeks ago, I left it off. And then Queens of the Stone Ages, In Times New Roman, just a fantastic album. Featured one of their songs in my top 10 songs. But yeah, those were the 2 that were just, I think, just missed off the list. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, make sure to like, follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, what you're watching right now, and to all our social media pages. Make sure to check out our sponsor, RAR Outfitters, RAWR Outfitters.com. And again, thank you all so much for checking out the Music Lab podcast this year, last year, whenever, and in the future. I am so grateful. I am so thankful for all of you for making this possible and making this dream a reality for me. So as always, I've been Dog. You've been great. Happy New Year. And this is the Music Lab podcast.